Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Wanted to get a live stream going on this drive-in. Make sure you guys all smash that like button. The market is green. We're gonna break down a couple risers. All right, welcome in, guys. Put down in the chat what you guys want to talk about. I got this hour drive. Just wanted to go live, get some things, air some things out, talk about what's going on in the market. Because I think a lot of people were a little bit in panic mode and kind of want to hear your stories. Did you hold through the sell-off? The corrections are normal, but guys, kind of standing pat. You know, it's one thing where nobody really knew why Bitcoin's pumping, why Bitcoin was going higher, why meme coins have been on fire. So just want to air it out. Welcome in, guys. Make sure you all smash that like button. Trying to do a crypto drive home, sometimes traveling for work. So get some discussion going. Scooter, welcome in. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I got this car mount. Trying to get it all figured out. That adhesive, it doesn't really work as much as they advertise, so I got to get a new one. But I'm gonna try to do this more often because I got the I can put the messages up there on the screen, so don't really have to take my eyes off the road. But it's kind of a cool thing to do, just to hear what you guys have to say. Kind of midday, a little drive home action. But how'd you guys all play the market? Is it something where were you selling? Did anybody take profits? We talked on a previous live stream. A lot of people out there were wondering, should we take profits? Should we get out? Should we sell off? I know a lot of SHIB holders were talking about that with the pump. And there were some levels in question where that's okay. That's kind of where we look at the numbers, where there were some people in profit, some new SHIB holders. And I think there's been some old SHIB holders that have been holding for quite some time. And we got up above that level when we took back that 0 and beyond. It kind of gave that extra push. And within that extra push is kind of how we, got into the green zone for a lot of holders. So never going to fault anybody for selling on good days, on green days especially. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I peaked at the crypto bubble. So please, if you guys have any coins, tokens you guys want to talk about, drop them down below. Welcome in, guys. We only got one like. We need to get a lot more thumbs up, get this video all fired up, get that live stream, the crypto drive home. I'm going to try to implement this on the channel a little more often. So I don't know, probably all the different time zones, but 4 o'clock where I'm at. Welcome in, guys. But let's take a look. I mean, we see Pepe coin. This is why I put these tags in the title and the description, because everybody panicked. There was a lot of people selling, right? And if you really truly believe the bull cycle's here, this is kind of where, oh, you gotta love it. I got it on the car mount. We're gonna stream and drive. I won't drink and drive, right? But we're gonna stream and drive. Really adds to the thrill of crypto. I'm just kidding, but no, the car mount's working great, so you guys don't have to worry about that. I'm more worried about my bags than me crashing the car live streaming. So welcome in, guys. We got 46 people live in the chat on the crypto drive home. I want to see this get fired up. Let's get some likes, but let's get that like all smashed up. Do I purchase stocks? That's a funny question. I do, but if you're asking the question in the light of stocks or crypto, I purchase more crypto than stocks at this time. I do have a traditional way of investing that is completely traditional at the time being. Before crypto, yes, I was active in the stock exchange, and that allowed me to put a lot of my capital into crypto, and not a short of the S&P, not a look at that in terms of like doubting the traditional S&P and the stock exchanges out there, but more so just a vehicle to allow me to get some more capital into more I don't want to say volatile assets, but more assets with upside. And that's just kind of how I play it. But pretty much, I think the last stock that I bought personally, actually, outside of just accumulating Apple from time to time and some of the FANGs and you know, just because I'm not selling for a long time, but there are some ways to kind of get out in front of the markets. But for me, it's a funny story. I actually work in healthcare, so I kind of had a little inside track just from my background with the COVID vaccine companies. So I was able to make a lot of money off of investing in Moderna, and I sold it at a profit. I could have held it for a lot more profit because I bought it so early. That was just kind of my bet. That was kind of my bet out of all the companies, and just knowing the technology behind how the vaccine mechanisms, and whether I'm pro-vax or anti-vax, it didn't matter because I knew the government was going to pay for it. So, you know, I just kind of piggybacked off the $500 billion bet I think the government made in grants. And, you know, they're not going to spend money in research if they didn't know which one actually had kind of the more dominating position in that, like, arms race, who could come out with the first COVID vaccine, and then which one would actually be working so that they could distribute it. That's where I had Moderna, just because of the mRNA technology. But let's talk crypto. But that's basically the last stock that I had in a huge trade. I took the profits, and I actually just bought a crap ton of Cardano and a couple down the road kind of like long shot cryptos I ended up buying. But welcome in, guys. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Mark. We're going to try this crypto drive home from time to time. For me, going live, it's more candid, it's more off the top, so it's a little bit easier too. And make sure you guys all smash that like button as well. Let's try to get as many people in here as we can. I got about a half-hour drive left, but yeah. But yeah, so we look at the crypto market though, and that's something where, guys, it's something where everybody a lot of people took profits, a lot of people panicked, a lot of people sold, and that's okay. I mean, that's okay, especially when we had all of that green. I mean, the time that you guys spend watching YouTube directly correlates with the stock, with the crypto market. I mean, we can see it with our numbers. Yeah, H-bar for sure. That's one where that's in that sweet spot for me, that 15 to 40 zone, where actually it's probably more like 12, 13 to 40, where you can find a lot of winners, especially layer ones. Just play the partnerships, guys. That's kind of been my strategy within crypto too, is the cryptos that I get involved with, the cryptos I talk about. What I like to do is, who's betting on them, okay? Who's betting on them? And we all know that the big Fortune 500 companies, they're not partnering with, you know, the next Inu to drop. They all have calculated investments, calculated strategic partnerships where they can mutually benefit each other. And that's going to be one of the eras, that one of the ways down in the future that crypto evolves. Right now, everybody's just trying to figure out blockchain. Adoption numbers really aren't growing, but we're trying to figure it out from a standpoint where, what is that next step? Because the next step is when we really get into that utility standpoint. And that's when, you know, ETFs are kind of like a stepping stone into that world, but they're not going to get it done. It's not going to get us to where we need to go as investors, because we're the OGs. We're the ones that were around before that's all going to go down. And that's when you're going to have your mom and pops and everybody and their brother buying crypto like they are the stock exchanges. Okay? That's just my take. Yeah, we got 3 likes in the chat. Appreciate you all. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys all smash that like button. Subscribe down below. These YouTube live shorts, they're a real cool avenue just to get one-on-one with a lot of people. It's quick, easy, friendly, very candid, intimate. There's no graphics. It's just kind of off the top, which, you know, conveying some of my opinions and feelings, it's easy to do. So I like it for myself. I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, keep them coming. Had a lot of people drop off on that one. Must have been something I said, but welcome in, guys. It kind of fluctuates. I thought we were gonna get that pump, but YouTube obviously didn't like something I said. XRP, Mr. Snickers. Yeah, so that's actually a funny one. My thoughts with XRP is, they're going to have their time. Like, they're going to have their time in terms of this meme coin madness that we're seeing right now. This would never even apply to XRP in the first place. So this little pump we're on, XRP would most likely correlate with what Bitcoin's doing. We've seen them conversely correlate indirectly, but that price action is not going to be associated with these meme coins like Doge, SHIB, Pepe. I put those tags on this video just to get people within those communities fired up in this live. But for me, with XRP, that's in its own category. Like I say in a lot of my content, it's in its own category. And until they get a clear-cut way of having people trust the fact that Ripple is not dumping on holders, they're not dumping on XRP holders, it's going to be hard for XRP to get their day in the limelight. But I tell people all the time, they're up 30%. If you look at the numbers, you look at the metrics, they're having a move into the green as well. It's just not that catastrophic. We've been waiting 6 years. Boom, XRP's $5. And that's what everybody wants. I don't personally want it because Ripple hasn't really got to where they're not implemented in enough places the way they need to be, okay? And that being said, it's not going to allow them to sustain. Like if XRP goes to $3, that's not going to allow, everybody's just going to dump on Ripple, on XRP, okay? So it works both ways, and I'm having trouble with that because I used to get a lot of action and traction with my XRP videos, and all the spotlight's been on meme coins, so that traffic's been down for me. I know a lot of people else on YouTube probably differently have been affected, but we got through, when we get back in the courtroom and there starts to be that settlement news and all that good stuff, when that comes to conclusion, that'll pick back up. But I don't know, I'm just not feeling the love. And I make an XRP video and everybody's saying, Ripple's dumping on XRP, quit talking about it. And they're right to an extent. There's other cryptos right now while we're waiting that you can go out there and make some money on that you don't need to be in XRP necessarily right now, but we all know what it's capable of, and we've seen it from time to time again, where XRP will go up 20%, and I don't want to be on that short end of the stick because it's not going to go down. It's not going to go down to like 4 cents. It's not going to go to 30 cents, right? So for me, there's no point of getting out, swinging it, anything like that. That's just how I feel about it, obviously. So Pepe coin, that's the next one in the chat. Moraro, welcome in. We're going to talk Pepe a lot on the channel because I'm trying to find what Pepe's actually doing. It's just a crypto on fire. I mean, now they're about to breach that top 40, hitting all-time highs. It's something with Pepe coin. You can't deny the run they've been on, but I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what the purpose is of Pepe coin. The first go round, obviously was able to get into it and experience that pump and I didn't stick around because that's something where you can take your profits and you can move on to the next meme coin. And like we're seeing with Doge, with Shiba Inu, Floki, all the top memes out there, they all have their run, they have their explosions, they correct a little bit, and then we're back at square one. And then from that standpoint, you can get right back in them, guys, because there's always going to be a new bottom created. It seems like with all these ebbs and flows. They're all cyclical. That's just my take. AVAX, yeah, that's a big one. Filecoin's a big one. What they're trying to do from a data standpoint, that's another thing. Filecoin has been around for a long time, and they kind of fit into that mold that we see, all right, that we see with XRP in a sense, right? They're just not flashy. They have all the stuff there, and it's almost like that trend we get in crypto, where it's like once you get established, once you get use case, once you get real world potential, and people know what you're actually out here to do, that's when people seem to jump off that train and go on to the next new thing. Not saying that they're dumping, it's going to zero, but like when was the last Filecoin 75% pump we've seen, or you know what I mean? Just like, that's an exaggeration, but like Filecoin has a very low likelihood of seeing a day like we see with Pepe coin. because it's known. People know what it's doing. There's no hype, no hysteria, so to speak. Make sure you guys all smash that like button as you guys come into the chat, and subscribe down below if you have not already done so. It's a little tricky on these lives. You got to hit those 3 dots, and then from there, guys, you can hit the like button and subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it, and it's unfortunate. Like AVAX, for example, I think they just lost a couple spots in market cap, total market cap, and you look at it, and it's not of any fault of their own. It's just they're not the flashy, sexy, shiny toy that everybody wants. And quite frankly, those are the cryptos you possibly should be buying. Obviously not financial advice, but yeah. Yeah, it's good to diversify like that for sure. With anything. I mean, even when you go to the grocery store, you don't go buy all one thing. You know, it's always good to diversify in everything you do in life. Diversification is a very good thing to keep everything level. But we've got 9 people in the chat. I want to see 9 thumbs up within the next minute. It's real easy to do. Now we're down to 7. It must have been something I said. So, but you gotta love these YouTube shorts because they just keep pumping. I've done these where I've had 1,000 people just in and out in a minute. I mean, it's crazy. You'll be flipping across your stream, looking at Kardashians, and then next thing you know, you're watching some guy driving home from work talking about crypto. So, yep, down to 4 people. So that's how that works. It kind of fizzles out. If you don't get the likes, these won't get off the ground, but keep them short and sweet. They're intended to be shorts anyways. And we have some good news breaking, some good breaking crypto news. This is a really good avenue just to hit a few buttons, not worry about all the semantics and the formalness of having an actual live. You got to set it up, do a lot of back end things on YouTube, and you just can hit record and just go. And the next thing you know, you're talking to an audience. So I like it. I'm gonna keep doing it with or without the masses. But welcome in, guys. For those of you just trickling in, appreciate the ones that have been with me for my drive home. But down to 2 people, so it might be fizzling out. I'll let it go for a couple minutes. If you guys have anything else to say, feel free while you still got me on the horn. Yeah, how do people get into cryptocurrency? Well, yeah, that's a tough one, man. The problem with that is, I mean, just think about it from a macro standpoint. You know, the biggest celebrities in the world promoted arguably a top 5, not arguably, it was, you know, promoted this huge, massive crypto exchange. And that's kind of how people get in the door, right? They need that onboarding of money, traditional finance money, into crypto. Okay, so ETFs give them that avenue, but will that benefit us as crypto people, or will that benefit the banks as TradFi kind of people, right? So it's unfortunate because of that whole FTX fiasco and what we saw where everybody shorted crypto at a point, right? You had all these crypto millionaires walking around, running around, talking about, oh my God, look at this money I made off Dogecoin, you know, yada, yada, yada. But then you have all this FUD, MSNBC, Fox Business, all that good stuff, right? And with that being said, the problem that lies with that is you're not going to get those people, that generation, to switch to channel. We don't have a Fox crypto channel out there, right? There's no, and that's kind of the beauty of YouTube, because if we did, you probably would be watching it there and not on YouTube, you know? So it's the platforms you pick, and some of them in this situation, you really don't pick them. I don't have the ability to go on Fox Business or MSNBC and start talking crypto. Not yet, at least. Some people get on there, but even then, it's kind of it's a scam. It's going to zero. Everything's going to zero. So, you know, that's kind of what it comes down to. So getting the beginners, the novice people, and it's unfortunate because I get a lot of that in the chat. I get the dumbest questions ever. And I say dumbest because, for lack of better words, I have to really think on how to answer that question politely. And me as a person, I'm never going to shoot anybody down. I'm always going to try to do my best to respond to people and give them my best and most honest take that I can. That's just who I am from a morality standpoint. So it's unfortunate because then these people, I'll give them the answer that you're talking about, how to educate. And that's probably the main goal here on YouTube, is just to talk about it and get open discussions, and so everybody can learn and establish and grow together, okay? But then, yeah, you get that novice crypto trader that just wants answers, and some hothead will blow them up in the chat, and I have to go block those comments from time to time. And then that person basically gets a sour taste in his mouth or her mouth and never trades crypto again. I've seen it happen. Then, I'll lose a subscriber. It happens, and you can't do anything about it. I try to moderate comments, but and just do the best I can. I'd love to make 1,000 videos, how to use a MetaMask, how to do this, how to move money, how to do all that jazz, but it's just not, that's a good way to make some ad revenue for me, but it's not so much even the money for me. It's just the fact that I don't have enough time in the day, truthfully. It's kids and real world stuff and my own personal investing. That's what gets in the way of me talking to you guys, truthfully. And then, trying to have a life, that's sometimes I feel like it's secondary. So, this time of the year, at least where I'm at, the weather's kind of gloomy, so I can get really in a rhythm talking to you guys, which is cool. So, faint signals from Vega. Yeah, no, we're good. All mounted. Appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you. Yeah, HBAR 15%. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of crypto in the green. That's a good thing. And it's one where I can tell you one thing, guys, and this is obviously not financial advice, but I've just been around the market for so long, and I can't tell you guys what to do. I can't do it. Obviously, I'm never going to tell you what to do with your own money. I'll tell you what I do with my money, and I'll try to put put stuff in front of you that makes sense sometimes, but I can't make decisions for anybody out there. But what happens is something that happens all the time. We've seen this with what we had go on in the past, some of the sell-offs. Corrections are natural. So we get this huge pump going, right? The memes go nuts. And then everybody wants to take that meme coin money and they want to parlay it. They want to be greedy. We've seen it. And crypto, guys, for the traditional crypto trader, is just a giant game of hot potato. It truly is. How many eggs can you put into a basket and don't be the guy holding the bag at the end of the day? And for the most part, that's what it is, right? Until somebody tells me what Pepe coin does for the person, living on the streets, or the person with no health insurance, or the person who's trying to go to college, whatever the use case might be, until Pepe coin tells me what they're there to do, that's just one where great, all-time highs, but it's just a giant game of hot potato until we actually have some actual use case. So that's just how I look at it. 6 people need to have 6 thumbs up. New people trickling in. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you all hit that like button. But did we lose everybody? Are we good? Did I fade out? How's the audio in this? Are we good? Are we live? You guys hear me good? I think I got the volume blocked. That's why I'm at the speaker blocked. Let me know down below in the chat. Are you guys getting good feedback? But yeah, it's one where I don't want to be the guy that says it was predictable, because I've also seen corrections that never end, and then that turned into a bear market. We saw Russian conflicts, but even with the Russian conflicts, guys, that was the stupidest thing I did, was sell, but you had to. I almost had to because of my financial situation. I didn't want to have too much tied up in crypto. And then World War III breaks out, and then I gotta go fight a war overseas and enlist, and then my stuff's tied up on my MetaMask, and I can't even use my cell phone. I know that's apocalyptic, worst case scenario, but I'm just kind of sharing with you what actually could happen. So yeah, sorry, I was trying to fix it, but this should be better. I think I fixed it. So you say, wonder what happens to crypto and Bitcoin in the short term when the market has a big correction So are you talking about the traditional markets, or are you talking about the crypto market in an inevitable correction this year for the crypto market? What are you trying to get to there with that question? Is that the traditional? Yes. Okay. So, that's one where, truthfully, guys, timing is, I don't really believe in too many coincidences. And at least in this situation, I really think timing is everything. And I think we're starting to see a little political shift, political movement, if you will. I'm probably more of a conspiracy theorist at heart as well. And it's just very coincidental. The Coinbase outage is just like another drop in the bucket, right? It's another thing that we're talking about like that. That happens. We have an election year going, and all of a sudden, Bitcoin hit all-time highs, right? Weird. Now we have BlackRock, Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin all-time high right before the 2024 election kicks off in a serious fashion. I don't know. I want to see it play out a little bit more, because I really truly think the most underrated conversation piece of the crypto market right now is what's going to happen with the election. And I think that should answer your question in about 8 months from now, because I think that's going to affect the traditional market as well. Not financial advice, but yeah. So Snickers with the precious metals, okay? The precious metals. Yeah, so it's funny, I've actually seen a lot of people selling actual physical gold and silver bars. And traditionally, that's kind of how it was. Everybody housed silver as a way to hedge. It became that avenue. I don't know what decade that was, but the push came from gold to silver because they were trying to find basically. But it's funny though, if you think about it. I read something the other day. It's like I think it said that you could fit all the world's mined gold in gold bars, and I think I don't know. It might have been a half of a football field, or I can't remember, but that just shows you it's actually a lot less gold out there in the world than you think. It might have been half a football field or 6 football fields. Just kind of, I think it was on Joe Rogan actually where I heard that. I'm not sure. Correct me if you guys know that answer, but it was just a weird way to illustrate the surface area and physical quantity of actual gold in the world. But yeah, I agree with you about the artificial. There's a lot of artificial stuff going on, and truthfully, we all know the whole BlackRock scenario, and it's not intended to be FUD, but it's truthfully a monopoly. And yeah, they may not own, they manage all those assets, and they may not actually own that percentage that they're involved with. But it's mind-blowing some of the stuff I hear from time to time with how they basically can cancel people, right? Because of product placement, and just because they want to push their narrative, and just how many Democratic backers they have involved in the fold. Even if you guys are Democrats, it's just the truth. I apologize if it catches you off guard. But a lot of things fiscally and socially within politics allow you to classify different in different ways. But yeah, I agree with the BlackRock thing. I see when it happens, and to me, this is why I'm always a skeptic a little bit in the ETF world. It seems like they're going to give the people a little bit of a push, but in the end, I think it's going to be something where they're trying to monopolize the crypto industry more than they are doing behind the scenes in case of regulation, and that's kind of how I think they're backdooring us all with the implementation of an ETF. That's just my 2 cents. But what do I know? But if anybody new in the chat, make sure you guys all smash that like button. It's been a long day, guys. Long day. And back on YouTube, we're going to be firing up some conversations. Got a couple launches coming out this week, so I dabble in a lot of projects and stuff. So it's going to be one of them weeks. No sleep, team no sleep. Yeah. I mean, it's funny you talk about precious metals, because if you you get into that open mind perspectives, where you start staring into space and you really just want to talk about precious metals, and you put in perspective, what is a precious metal? Why does it matter? No one really can answer that question, for me at least. I kind of want to know that, but I have not gotten a good answer on that. Like, why do we covet gold? Because there's not enough of it. But your gold's going to do diddly squat if we got invaded, or a meteor hit the ice caps or something. I don't know. I'm just spitting something crazy, but it just, to me, it's, build wealth while you're on the planet and for your families and whatnot. But when push comes to shove, it's just all materialistic to me. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Isn't Bitcoin supposed to be the digital gold and the ultimate hedge? It's funny how the digital hedge and the physical hedge are kind of working in tandem. So, but yeah, so everybody's kind of firing in. As you trickle in, guys, make sure you all smash that like button. It really does help us here on YouTube. The stupid algorithm, I'm trying to beat the code. I'm trying to grow. They got me held back. I'm actually thinking about switching my name. I'm sure if you guys are in the chat still, you've probably been subscribed to me for some time. And if you're not, I appreciate it if you guys all consider subscribing, as always. But contemplating a little name change, a little rebranding. But yeah, so back to the BlackRock stuff. Now I got a question from Vega. Are you actually a crypto person or a TradFi guy that just kind of stumbled upon some guy driving up from work talking about finance and crypto? But welcome in, guys. We got a little resurgence in the discussion. Got a lot of people tuning in. Make sure you guys all smash that like button. New name: Currency versus Verus Money. Verus Money or Versus Money? Yeah, that's a tough one, but I kind of want to, I think I'm going to go with it. I think it's more so not a play off of my name, but more so a play on the YouTube algorithm. It's funny, every time I say YouTube algorithm, I end up losing people in the chat. So I wonder if it's another way that they're monitoring. Wouldn't surprise me, but. Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of funny. We actually talked about that, and with the exception of a few events here and there, it's funny how, if you would take the S&P 500, right, and you take Bitcoin, and you take, you could group in whatever, make your own S&P 500 in crypto, your top 100 cryptos, and you get that mean flow. Oh, Vega. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, that's the problem. I'll show you my channel demographic. I get so in tune to saying it's kind of like that, assuming a doctor is a woman, so I apologize. There's not my fault, but there's an overwhelming percentage demographic disparity with male versus female on YouTube within my channel demographic. So Trish, okay, there we go. That's better. If you had faint signals from Trish, I'd be better off. I would have known that 100%. But yeah, but anyways, guys, the overlay that you can see from those charts, where you take the S&P, you take Bitcoin, you take the top 10, 25 cryptos, and you overlay them, you stack them on top of each other, use TradingView, your TradingView accounts, and you can do that. It is kind of really funny to see how they all basically run in tandem as they ebb and flow. So I do that from time to time, and it kind of checks if we're going in an opposite direction. I think actually they do have a trend line you can download and use to your advantage. I can't remember the name, but it tracks that exact metric that we're talking about. So gold, silver, and digital currencies are real money. Exactly. Yeah. I was just trying to talk about, like, in a world where you don't have a need for currency and all you have is basically your health and your family and friends. It's kind of interesting to go down that rabbit hole, and your basement could be filled with gold bars and they're worth diddly squat. You know what I mean? So kind of just how I, if I'm looking to humble myself or bring myself back down to reality, I kind of like to go down that rabbit hole, but not for too long, because I do like to make money. What are my favorite investments? Well, right now I'm kind of just, balls deep in crypto, for lack of better words. So we only have so much money to move around, and I diversify enough in crypto where as long as a nuclear bomb doesn't go off, I'll be okay. So, but chat is starting to fizzle out, and I love these lives because I was live for 36 minutes and would have never known. It just, time flies. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, and I've actually talked to people about that, and I actually wanted to, I really hope I actually do get a really good live stream going one day, because there's so much I could just rattle off my chest, kind of what you are talking about, Trish, with the shenanigans, if you will. And we've all been wrecked. We've all been, in projects, and I just talked about a project today in a promotion. So you guys know how it works. YouTube doesn't pay us millions of dollars to talk crypto. If you knew what it was, you probably would laugh at me and wonder why the heck I do it. Gas fees are $300 a day. I'm trading crypto, but I'm here talking on YouTube for pennies. Okay. So yeah, it's no joke. It's no secret. Everybody on YouTube has to monetize in different ways or another. And, I did a promotional video, something that I'm sincerely interested in. Some stuff comes across my desk that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. But the other stuff, yeah, it's part of the game. It's part of the game, and everybody's into crypto for different reasons. So just, you got to educate yourself. You got to find what works for you, and, obviously take on the risk that you want to take on and be your own financial advisor. I'm just talking about what I do in crypto. And when it comes down to it, guys, I was interested in these nodes. There's a token coming out. I think it's a way that I'm going to make money. I'm going to make money with these nodes. I'm going to buy